Do you struggle with the amount of clutter you have in your home just from the postal mail? Well, you're in luck because today we're going to talk about how to deal with that postal mail here on Get Organized with Jodi. Hi, I'm Jodi Granok. I'm a certified professional organizer with over 15 years in the field, and I have seen lots of paper clutter in my clients' homes and offices. And so today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics dealing with paperwork, and that is how to deal with your postal mail. And it all starts at the front door with controlling the incoming mail. Yes, you can control how much mail is coming to your house. You can reduce it. And here's the biggest thing that you can do right off the bat, and that's cancel any unread newspaper or magazine subscriptions. They're expensive and they add up in more ways than one. I can't tell you how many clients' homes I've been to where I've seen stacks of newspapers and magazines, and the client will look at me sheepishly and say, I know, I've got to get caught up on my reading. Well, reading isn't supposed to be a chore, it's supposed to be a pleasurable activity. And I don't know anyone who's used their vacation time to catch up on their reading. So, depending on the frequency of your periodical, whether it's a daily newspaper, a weekly magazine, or a monthly or quarterly periodical, if you have more than one in your house at a time, you're you're behind on your reading. So the sign you're looking for is when the new one arrives at your house. That is the signal, hey, it's time to wrap up the other edition because the new one is here. If you find that you're behind like that, it's a good idea to cancel these subscriptions, and your reward will be a monetary one because they will send you back the money that is still owed on that subscription. What can you do instead if you cancel these subscriptions? Well, you could switch to reading the catalogs and magazines and articles online. Not only is it more affordable, in some cases it's free, but you're going to have up-to-date information on the things you care about way earlier than they would show up in your mailbox. You're going to read things in real time. Another thing you can do is talk to your financial planner about switching your investment statements so that they come to you as an email rather than coming to you in the postal mail. Or perhaps they can switch the frequency from monthly statements to quarterly. Again, consult with your expert about that one. And some of our postal mail is information about events. So once you have the information from a flyer or an invitation put into your calendar, whether it's your paper calendar or your phone calendar, most of the time you can get rid of the paper unless it said to bring it with you for some type of discount. A lot of our postal mail clutter is junk mail, things that we didn't ask to receive in the first place. And here's a wonderful resource that you can use to lose the junk mail for good. And that's dmachoice.org. This used to be very old school back in the day. It was a post office box that you would write to and wait several weeks for it to take effect. But it's the same organization, just streamlined for the internet now. This is a service that takes you off of mailing lists. And it's not free. It does cost $4, but that $4 fee gets you 10 years of being removed from junk mailing lists. So I took a picture here of their home page, and basically you create an account with an email and a password. You wait for an email from them. You click on the link they send you, and now you're in the account. You pay the $4, and then they will show you lists. And you can decide, you can either cherry pick, no, I don't want this catalog and this catalog, or you could say, blanket statement, I don't want any of these catalogs. I don't want any of these credit card offers. It really makes a big difference in the amount of mail that you receive to your house. I highly recommend this service for all of my clients, so check it out. It's important to deal with the paper left behind as you're opening your mail. Shred things that are sensitive and recycle things that are not. Now, what is the difference between the two? I have some controversy about this with some of my clients. I have clients who feel like any envelope or piece of paper that has their name and address on it is sensitive and should be shredded. And to that, I say, if it makes you feel comfortable to do that, I'm not going to talk you out of it or try to talk you out of it because I want you to be comfortable. But if you're tired of doing it and you're looking for a reason to stop, I will just let you know that your name and address are public record and can easily be found on an online search. So when I talk about shredding things that are sensitive, what I'm referring to instead of your name and address are things like your date of birth, your social security number, any medical information, any tax information, anything that has account numbers. Those things should be shredded. And when you shred, you want to make sure you use something that makes cross cuts, which looks like confetti, like the picture that you see on the screen, versus the older version of shredding machines that used to just make long strips. If someone really wanted your information, if you saw the movie Argo, you know that strips can be taped back together. So crosscut shredder for what's sensitive and recycle the things that are not sensitive. And then of course, some of our postal mail may still involve bills. So let's talk about how to deal with your bills so that they don't add to the clutter. Make sure you open your bills right away and discard all the unwanted inserts and outer envelopes. Now, I'm not saying you have to pay your bill at that moment, and that is one of the reasons why people don't open their bills right away. They may tell themselves, oh, I don't need to pay this yet, so I don't need to open it. But if you're someone who struggles with paying bills on time, which is another video that we are making on our channel, this is a really good thing to do, to open the bills right away. It just starts the process of thinking about when you have to pay the bill. It gives you more awareness. And like I said, we'll talk about that in another video. It's a good idea to keep all your bill paying supplies together, preferably where you're opening the mail or where you like to pay your bills. I personally have a basket where I have a little notepad to jot things down about bills that are due. The basket has a calculator, it has my checkbook, stamps, return address labels, all the things you would want when you're ready to sit down and pay bills so that you don't get distracted looking for all these things in your home. And of course, if you want to cut down on the amount of mail that's coming to your house, you can consider taking some of your bills and switching to online or automatic payments. And again, we'll talk about that more in another video. An online payment is when you've worked with your creditor to pay the bill online. You've given them access to your bank routing information, and you determine the day you want to pay it and how much you want to pay. An automatic payment is when you've worked with your creditor and given them your banking information, but you've told them to take a specific amount of money out every month, the same amount, on the same day of the month. And this is something that can be useful for things that are always the same amount in the bill. So think of a car payment or a loan payment or your mortgage. But you want to be careful with automatic payments that you have enough of a cushion in your bank account in case you have a month with some unexpected expenses. I encourage you to visit organizingmagic.com for more organizing resources, including our free e-newsletter and information on our monthly Zoom webinars, which are also free. And remember that new videos drop every Friday. So be in the know and click like and subscribe before you go so you never miss a single video. I'll see you next time.